Good evening. On behalf of the Scottsbluff-Gearing United Chamber of Commerce, welcome to this evening's candidate forum for the 2022 primary election. This candidates forum features individuals running for Scottsbluff County Surveyor. This candidates forum is one of several being presented by the Government Affairs Committee of the Scottsbluff-Gearing United Chamber of Commerce. Along with my co-chair, Don Wolf, my name is Bill Boyer, and we appreciate you joining us. We'd like to thank Rural Radio Scottsbluff staff for recording this forum so you can view it, as well as Scottsbluff County Clerk Kelly Sides for hosting us this evening in the Commissioner's Room. As a reminder, there are two Republican candidates running for Scottsbluff County Surveyor. In the May 10th primary election, you'll be allowed to vote for one candidate. The top vote getter in the primary election will advance to the November general election. There are no candidates from any other political party running for this year, so most likely the winning candidate will be unopposed in the general election. Before we meet the candidate tonight, I'd like to go over the format for this forum. Before we began recording, we had one candidate, so we didn't have to choose an order on this one to where they would be seated. We'll be asking this candidate a question, and he'll be given 90 seconds to respond. Then there'll be an optional 30-second period if he wants to add any additional. After our final question, we will give our candidate a 1-minute closing statement. There are timers in the room, and the candidates were informed of the format, date and time, and rules prior to tonight. None of the questions have been given to the candidate in advance. The candidate with us tonight for Scottsbluff County Surveyor is Dennis Sullivan. And Scott Bossie was unable to attend tonight's forum. Per the rules, statements can be read from those candidates who are unable to attend. However, Scott did not submit a statement to be read. So, Dave, we'll get to questions for you today.
Dennis.
Explain what motivated you to run for election.
I have worked for a county surveyor for years, and it's a job I take very seriously, hunting for and finding the corners. It's kind of what I was trained in when I learned to be a surveyor.
So what are your qualifications for the office?
I'm a licensed surveyor. You have to be licensed to be a county surveyor. I was licensed in 2000 in Nebraska. I also hold 3 other licenses: Colorado, Wyoming, and South Dakota. And those are 8-hour tests, 2 8-hour tests. And I don't know if you guys have ever taken 8-hour tests, but they're not fun.
What ideas do you have for helping improve the public land survey system records?
The only thing I can possibly think of is maybe getting the records online. I haven't approached it or the commissioners with any of that, but maybe with Beacon or something we could get those records online. Make it a lot easier for people to find their records.
Obviously, as you know, this position works closely with the GIS administrator. What would you do to build on that current relationship between the two offices?
We've been working together for 4 years since I won the election last. Mainly whatever corner she needs, I go out and get.
So at the end of another 4-year term, if you're reelected, how would you define success in your job?
Just finding more corners, getting more density with the mapping department. It goes hand in hand because the more corners she has, the more accurate her maps are. When GIS first came out, I was back in North Platte, and the city did a mapping, and we had people come in and say, well, I own part of your lot or part of your building. They were going off the mapping department, which at that time was not very accurate, and you can't do that. You have to find the actual corners of your property. And so the more corners we can get, the more accurate their maps will be.
That's the last question we had. So we have 60 seconds left here if you'd like to tell people watching why they should vote for you.
I was trained by a county surveyor. I worked for a county surveyor back in North Platte, Lincoln County, for 14 years. We take the time to go out and find the corners, dig for the corners, check the records, make sure we're finding what the records are calling for. As I said, I trained for 14 years with them. I've been surveying since I was licensed in 2000. I've licensed mainly just in 2 states, Nebraska and Wyoming, although I am licensed in Colorado and South Dakota too, so it just gives me different experience with each license. So,
Okay. Scott, thank you. We'd like to thank Scott and
no.
or
Dennis.
sorry, you can edit that out, TJ. It's the first edit you had to make for me. Thank you, Dennis. We'd like to thank Dennis for attending and one of the 2 candidates running for Scottsbluff County Surveyor for participating in the forum tonight. We hope this will help you decide who you wish to vote for. As a reminder, in the May 10th primary election, you'll be allowed to vote for 1 candidate. The top vote getter in the primary election will advance to the November general election, most likely unopposed, as no other candidates have filed from other parties. This candidates forum is one of several being presented by the Government Affairs Committee of the Scottsbluff-Gearing United Chamber of Commerce. We again would like to thank the Rural Radio Scottsbluff staff for recording this forum so you can view it. The timers for volunteering, the chamber staff, and Scottsbluff County Clerk Kelly Sides for hosting us this evening in the Commissioner's Room. On behalf of the Scottsbluff-Gearing United Chamber of Commerce Government Affairs Committee, and for my co-chair Don Wolf, I'm Bill Boyer. Thank you for joining us, and remember, get out and vote.